What a good friend you are. How are you today?
All right, good morning, everybody. You guys know I like to start at 9:15, so if you're just walking in, welcome, but we're getting started. There's still coffee and beignets in the back. Please help yourself. That is courtesy of Beignet and Brew in the Avenue. They are amazing, and these beignets are incredible here. But y'all, if you go there and try them fresh, there's literally nothing else like it. It is to get them to come and present themselves, but they are either understaffed or just over busy. It's a great, well, understaffed isn't a good problem to have.
Usually understaffed.
Yeah. Well, actually, the other day they were overstaffed because I think he had to make up for that.
Right.
But then it's a bunch of people who don't really quite know what to do yet, so it's never really that smooth. Anyway, I have to thank Abby. I always forget to do it when she's here. Of course, today she's not here and I'm remembering. But thanks to Abby for making sure that everything runs smoothly, all the applications that come in get processed and scheduled, and it's just always great to make sure that we've got people who are lined up, and she keeps everything organized. And then, of course, the social media that you see that goes out, that's all her too. So just thanks, Abby.
Thanks, Abby.
Yeah. Let's see, announcements-wise, I mean, night market was last Friday, so you're not going to hear me say much about that. You won't see anything on there. It's feeding into the computer. Thanks for checking. You can tell that what world you live in. Night market was amazing. I was just saying to anybody who wasn't there that it was a beautiful evening. It just took a while for the temperature to go down, and then once it did, this massive gust of wind scared everybody away. But it never actually rained. We partied till 10 o'clock. We got more volunteers than normal, and we broke down in like record time, and somehow I still didn't get home until 1:30 in the morning. No, I mean, I stay and I wait for Ryan's crew to break down and Yanni's crew to break down, so I just want to make sure that they don't have any problems or issues, so I hang around and wait. That's why it takes so long, but it was really a fantastic event, and I hope that you all put October 3rd on your calendar so that you can remember to come to the next one. All right, I have to say, I was a little bit afraid that there were people out of town this week, but the room is starting to fill up nicely, so I'm glad you all made the effort to come back today. All right, let's see. I need to see, there's only one person in the room who I think has never been here before, right? It's Davis. So Davis, we have a gift for you. I do ask that there's a lot of QR codes that are on the screen. There's one that's an orange screen. There's two QR codes. The one that's on the left-hand side will be for you to check in with 1 million cups. This is to check in with Launch Fayette, also something they want you to do. But the one that you check in for with 1 million cups, that's the trade-off for getting a notebook and a pen. There you go. There it is. Quick. Okay. Let's see. I don't really have a whole lot of other announcements. I know that Barry is a fantastic speaker. We had him as our Startup Fayette speaker a few months back, and it was such a great presentation. I don't want to say remind, but explain that 1 million cups is different, and that I'm going to ask, what can we as a community do for you? So there is a question at the end that he has for us to help. So I'm really looking forward to hearing him speak again. I'll turn it over to you, and just give me a sec. Oh, actually, you know what? Valerie, why don't you go first? You need those slides?
I don't need slides or anything. Just sort of welcome everybody. As all our veterans know, this space that you're in is Launch Fayette. It's an incubator, it's a joint project, it's at the Center of Innovation in the school system, the Fayette County Schools. And the place is here to support entrepreneurs. We provide office space if you need that. We provide a place you can stop in and do work if you need that. There's different levels of membership for that. And there's a ton of programming, and it hosts 1 million cups. It hosts entrepreneurship classes. So it's just a phenomenal program that Fayette County provides. So we have a give back request today for everyone in this room. And if you're in this room, you are benefiting from the existence of Launch Fayette. We have signs that the Launch Fayette crowd is going to be carrying in the upcoming 4th of July parade, but they have a second purpose. So before you leave today, please somewhere out here in front of a Launch Fayette sign, in front of blank wall, grab one of these signs, find Nene. She's going to be making Nene. Everyone knows Nene, hopefully. Find Nene. She is going to be making super short videos. And when I say super short, I mean like 30 seconds, where you hold up a sign and you say what you love about Launch Fayette, or just what you love about being an entrepreneur, or what your dreams are in building your company. Anything you have that to share that Launch Fayette is either already providing benefit for, or you know we can provide the benefit for, please, 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 before you leave today, grab a sign, stand in front of something that looks good, and just talk straight at the camera, saying what you love about being an entrepreneur, about being in Fayette County, about Launch Fayette, and how we're helping your dreams come true.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valerie. And come join us, walk with us in the parade. You can carry one of these wonderful signs. We'll meet at, where are we meeting? It starts on the Peachtree Parkway on the green. So find us, we'll be in the lineup, and come walk with us. And it's 2.5 miles, so wear your walking shoes and wave the signs. And we tell folks how great entrepreneurship is.
No,
in
boy,
Fayette County,
really.
Peachtree. Thanks, so.
Did you want
You won't go to the parade.
these for any reason?
Usually somebody have the tag they can park in a spot there, so if you move forward, you will see some things about parking. Yes.
Anybody planning on going to the parade? Got a couple of hands. We have other plans, family tradition, but
Yeah.
I did go one year and it was really great.
Oh, I've been so many times. I've been in the
Awesome.
parade 5 times,
Yeah.
and I watched it almost every other time. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
It
But
is such a great
I'm going to
parade.
the lake this year.
Awesome. All right.
All right. Thank you, Jason. I hope to see you guys there.
Okay. Gary, you can take the- let me, all right, if you hit, I believe it's the down arrow.
Okay. That's fine, I need to mention.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? Could you hear me okay? I don't need a microphone, right? Okay, you can hear me. So what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to give you three things in order. I'm going to tell you a little about myself. I'm going to tell you a little about my business experience. And then I'm going to ask you for help on a challenge that I currently have in one of my businesses. Okay? So this way we can ask questions along the way. I don't want this to be a monologue per se, so raise your hand, interrupt me, do whatever you need to do, and we'll have some fun doing this. Okay, so a little about me. Barry Falcon is my name. I get a royalty from the Atlanta Falcons every year because I use my name. There's also an airport down here named after me. I get royalties again. And then I have a street sign by the airport named after me. So all I can tell you is that if you make a big enough donation, they will name anything after you. So money talks. So I got the T, I got the Falcons, I got a street sign, I got an airport, and I got a major football team. Okay? Anybody wants to know how to get that done, just let me know and I'll talk to me afterwards. So that's a little about me. I've been married for 50 years, probably more than most people in here have been alive. I married up like a lot of guys. Wasn't a childhood sweetheart, but I saved the key from our wedding night at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, Beverly Hills Hotel. I still have that. And so it says mail back P.O. box something. And so I gave that to my wife for our 50th wedding anniversary as a present, framed and everything. She loved it. I got a lot of brownie points. And so I can tell anybody here that's married and kind of wants to keep that evolution going, there's only one word that I would give you as a suggestion. Anybody know what that is? One word.
Yes.
Loosening.
Close. Anybody else? Anybody else been married? Any time?
Do what you're told.
Compromise. That's it. Compromise. I let her win the little ones. I win the big ones. That's all. But compromise. I'm pretty philanthropic, and with a certain charity, And I have a son with type 1 diabetes. Lives a perfectly normal life, has an insulin pump, has to check his blood sugar regularly. But I'm very involved in that charity. So I got this great idea to say, okay, I'm going to run marathons and raise money for this charity. So I've run 17 marathons, starting at the age of 60, and so now I'm only 61. I've run 17 in 1 year now. I'm 73 years old. So I ran my first marathon on my 60th birthday because I needed something to do, so it was a challenge. This event, as you can see, there's 6 medals here, 48.6 miles. So in Disney, that's called the Dopey Challenge, and you really need to be a dope to do it. But I did that. I started that. There was 8,000 people that signed up to do that, and I'll tell you what it is in a second. And I did it for 10 years, and now there's only 300 people that are dopey perfect, meaning they've done it every year. It's a 5K on Thursday, a 10K on Friday, a half marathon on Saturday, and a full marathon on Sunday. So it's 48.6 miles over 4 days. And so you need to be a little dopey to do that. But you get 6 medals, and it's a lot of fun. And so I've done it for 10 years, and then I retired last year. And I've raised probably close to $500,000 for the charity doing my marathon runs.
That's amazing.
So that's a little about me. I went to Woodstock when I was 17. You guys weren't even born then. So I was a hippie in the 60s. My hair was longer than Karen's here. Big hippie, big beard, rock and roll, Grateful Dead, Beatles, sleeping out at concerts. But now I'm back into my little more conservative role. So, but I did go to Woodstock. I still have the tickets still framed. Let's see, $7 a ticket for a few days. A little inflation. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so every one of my business ventures, I start with the exit in mind. And I'm a franchise consultant, kind of part-time. I've been in franchising for 25 years. And so I counsel clients on, okay, what's the goal? What's the end game? Do you want to leave a legacy for your children? Do you want to leave just something, or do you want to sell, right? But on our first session, we're talking about what's the goal, right? What's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? So every business that I've been involved with, other than when I had a corporate job a long time ago, it was on day one, what's the exit plan? And then let's work towards that, okay? So very, very important. I just tell business people, you could just grow and then die, and that's fine. In my case, I have 3 kids. None of them wanted any part of my businesses. All they wanted was the money, right? When I sold my last company, kids wanted no part of it, so I took them out to dinner at a nice steak place in Buckhead. I gave them an envelope with a check in it and said, here, go have some fun, and if mom and I don't spend it all, there'll be more later on. So, but they wanted no part of my business. One of my sons is a pilot for United Airlines, flies 737s. Another one is in private equity in Chicago, and my daughter is a registered dietitian, works for Northside Hospital. So I just mentioned this because I'm going to talk about the companies that I've grown and exited from. So here's a couple of them. Karen and I met back a long time ago. In 2003, 2004, I was a franchisee of Velocity Sports Performance on Huddleston and Dividend Drive. On the corner there, there's an escape room place and something else. But I had 20,000 square foot building there. I grew that business for 2 years and said, the answer is to be the franchisor, not the franchisee. So I sold that, and I started another company called Shelf Genie. And Shelf Genie is real exciting, and all it does is pull out drawers in your kitchen, pantry, bathroom, entertainment center, right? So wherever you open your kitchen cabinet and there's a shelf, we turn it into a drawer. Not very novel. I didn't wake up in the morning and say, I want to be in the drawer business. But a couple of guys and I said, okay, this is a good business. We bought a small little factory, we grew it, had the exit plan in sight right on day one, launched that business in 2008, sold it in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. Everybody remembers that. September 30th, 2020, I sold that with 165 locations around the country. We were doing 12,000 drawers a month in our factory in Birmingham. So sold that deal, exited, popped the champagne and said, thank you very much, what's next, I'm not sure. So Shelf Genie was an exit of mine. Concrete Craft, I was the CEO of that company and investor, sold that to private equity company with 35 locations in 2014. I'm currently at Ninja Nation that has 12 locations right now. Got the exit in mind, but I'm not a principal share. I'm a shareholder, but I'm not majority shareholder, so I'm just a passive investor and advisor in that one. We have 9 locations. It's like American Ninja Warrior. Okay, but ultimately there'll be an exit. Hopefully, get some money back. I'm currently working on Let's Go Pickleball and Concord Paddle. Let's Go Pickleball is a new pickleball facility here on Mobile Drive, 63,000 square feet. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. And Concord is opening up this first location in Tempe, Arizona in 4 weeks. All franchise businesses. Because I've learned that franchises scale, but private equity companies love buying franchises because they're buying business people that are invested, they're not buying employees. Any questions about franchise businesses or anything like that? You look around in your daily life, a lot of things you deal with are franchises. You might not know, but they are. I mean, the NFL is a franchise, the NBA is a franchise. Okay, you guys know sports? Anybody like sports? Question?
To be clear, are these franchises that you've started, or are these franchises that you've?
Yeah, I started 4 of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I started one. I started Shelf Genie. I didn't start Concrete Craft. I came in after. I wasn't a founder.
Okay.
I'm a founder. I was a founder in Shelf Genie. I was a franchisee in Velocity Sports Performance. I'm a founder of Conquer, and I'm not the founder of Ninja Nation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, on Velocity, didn't you, like, kind of educate the franchise or the corporate, like how they might be better in their square footage?
Yeah, I
and
was a very
operations?
high volume franchisee, and the corporate office always, it's called Meet the Team Day or Discovery Day. They were based in Alpharetta. So every time they had that and they brought prospective franchisees, they'd bring them down to my place in a bus that they had because they wanted to see how a high volume operator was working. So I kind of, I did a few things that were against the rules, so to speak, a little renegade, but I was very high volume. And so the franchisor learns from the franchisee. Just like McDonald's, they did not invent the fish sandwich. A franchisee said, I need something to serve on Friday nights when my clients that don't eat meat need something. And the franchisee came up with the fish fillet. No different than Velocity. I came up with ideas on how to do things in programming, and we had lock-ins where kids would stay. We'd lock the doors. We have games all night, and the parents would pick them up in the morning, right? So all kinds of things like that. We just reinvented things to say, I have a building, I'm paying rent for it, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Why not be open and do a lot of different things?
And I want to give a tip that I learned from you 20 some odd years ago for everybody here. When he was first opening up that location or decided to do that, I said, why are you doing it down here? Because I lived up in Gwinnett at the time. Right. You lived in like Alpharetta or Roswell.
I lived in Marietta.
Something like that. He was like, because you open up where the opportunity is, not just because it's convenient.
Sure, right, exactly.
Right? And I was like, location, location, location. They always say that, but you actually did it and then had great success.
Well, you got to know what the future. You got to kind of predict where the future growth is when you're doing anything, especially if it's a big investment.
She's smart, the birthday girl.
I just said it.
Happy birthday.
We'll celebrate.
We celebrate here also. We're not just here for the.
Thank you.
Really drunk.
Thank you.
I was just going to make a comment that when you had Velocity Sports, you allowed me to do a networking group there on a monthly basis and just use that space.
Sure.
And so I had a chance to bring, twofold, to bring a lot of business owners in that might not have otherwise seen Velocity Sports. I don't know how much, if any of that turned business for you, but I was grateful for being able to use that space. And, so.
You got to give back. Everybody's got to give back. That's for sure. Another question. Yeah.
When do you know, like, you're ready to, like, get into, like, when you're ready to get into the franchising business?
Franchising your business or being a franchisee? Franchising your business?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
business.
So 3 requirements to franchise your business, because I do this every day. I do webinars, and I'm more than happy to talk to you. 3 things. It has to be a demand for the product or service, and it has to be growing. It has to be duplicatable, so it can't be something that you're the only person that could do it. And it has to have a good business model where the franchisee can make money and get a return on their investment. If you meet those 3 criteria, our company called iFranchise Group would take you on as a client. If you don't meet those, we'll help you, but you're not ready to franchise yet. Okay, so the franchisee has to make money. So when you get into franchising, it's all about the franchisee. Okay? If they don't make money, the system doesn't work. Okay? And I have a book on franchising. I gave them out a bunch, but if you leave me your contact info, I'll get you a book on franchising your business. Okay, so we all know sports. We know a lot of different sports. Everybody familiar with baseball? Right? Watching the Braves, who suck this year, right? I was just in Kansas City last week. I went to the Dodger game with the Kansas City Royals on Friday night to watch Ohtani there. He starts the game off home run first thing, right? So I don't think Kansas City's ever seen this many people in their stadium before, now that the Dodgers were there. But we're all familiar with baseball, right? Everybody's familiar with baseball. You guys familiar with football? High school, college. My son went to the Ohio State University. So, of course, I went to a bunch of football games in the horseshoe. But everybody's familiar with this, right? Football? Tennis? Wimbledon's going on right now. You can get up really early in the morning. They're 6 hours ahead. You can watch matches, but it's a lot of fun, right? Everybody familiar with tennis? No questions about it? Understand the rules, not rules? Everybody know about pickleball? Who has not played pickleball yet?
Ooh.
Whoa!
There is an area of
So
opportunity for
everybody, you
growth.
guys don't know what this is, right? So everybody that raised their hand, you see me afterwards, I will give you a free month membership to our pickleball place.
Oh, I haven't played it.
And I'll give you some, and we'll give you some lessons, okay? Some lessons. So this pickleball, right? Paddle, noise. So the biggest problem, right, in Peachtree City is not enough courts. The other thing is there's a noise issue, as you can hear, right? So some people complain about the noise. Other people, it's kind of like music to their ears, okay? So it's a booming industry. It's the fastest growing sport in the United States.
So where did, I've played it, but where did it originate?
In Washington, Bainbridge, Washington. Some guys doing a family thing. That's how they came up with it. And the story is that the dog was named Pickles, and that's how they came up with pickleball.
That was like 1948.
Yeah, it's 50 years old, but I know most people didn't heard of it. I've never heard of pickleball until I moved into my old age home here in Peachtree City. That's called Crestwind 55 and over. My son calls it old age home. Some guy said, let's go play pickleball, and I said, what the hell's that? I mean, I played tennis. My daughter went to UNC on a tennis scholarship, so I was a tennis and racquetball guy. They said, what's pickleball? And so they took me out there, and I said, okay. And I learned about pickleball, and I got very, very proficient at pickleball. And now I'm a certified pickleball instructor. I've traveled around. I've played tournaments. I play at a pretty good level, and I play 5 or 6 days a week. So today's my off day, but I play regularly, except when the weather is not good. Then it's kind of difficult to play outside. So a couple of buddies of mine said, well, let's build an indoor place. And one of our partners is a professional pickleball player, Donald Young, and Joe Paletta is a real estate guy, and so we built a pickleball place. But everybody's heard of it. Well, not everybody's played, but everybody's heard of it. Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can hit this ball and you get one serve over the net, not like tennis. Scoring is a little different than tennis, but the sport is growing for 2 reasons. One is the seniors like me can get off the couch and get some exercise. The other thing is it's easy to learn. Tennis, much more difficult with a racket and the balls, and so this is easy to learn, and you can go out there and play in after 10 minutes. okay? So that's why the sport is booming. It is absolutely exploding in the United States. Not very big rest of the world, but growing in the US, okay? So pickleball. Who knows what the heck this is? Anybody know what padel is? Any hands going up? I mean, you know about pickleball. You haven't played a lot, but you know about it. Do you know what padel is? Right. So my friends asked me, what's padel? I've invested a lot of money and I'm a partner in the padel business and we're franchising it.
Oh no.
This is padel. This is a padel ball. It's very similar to a tennis ball. Not as loud as pickleball. This paddle's a little heavier and you can all feel it and touch it, whatever. So this is padel. It's the fastest growing sport in the world.
What?
Unbelievable, right? Europe, Spain, I mean, South America. It was founded in Mexico.
Huh.
So I talk to my friends and I say, hey, you know about padel? They look at me like I'm crazy. I tell them it's a cross between squash, tennis, and racquetball. So it has a net. It's in a glass enclosure, 33 by 66, and you can hit the ball off the walls.
Oh, but
Right.
isn't that?
Well, it's like I said, it's like racquetball.
It's like racquetball with a net and a different balls. This is a little
it's like
little
almost
better than
360.
a tennis ball. It's so
But
it's
it's not as fast as racquetball? I mean,
yeah, no, not as fast, but so I tell my friends, look at YouTube and go look at padel and see what padel is all about. Okay, so I'm an investor and a founder of a company in Tempe, Arizona called Conquer Padel. So you guys haven't seen this, but you will see this, and it's a little easier than tennis and a little harder than pickleball. But it's coming, and it's coming to the US. And as we talked about, seeing the future of what's going on and looking at that opportunity, that is key, absolutely key. So, I mean, hockey, Wayne Gretzky always said, I'm looking where the puck's going, not where it is. So I'm looking here and saying, where's the trajectory? Where's this sport going? Who wants to be in on the ground floor, right? So my first facility is opening up in 30 days. They put the courts in today. We're franchising. We already have our first franchisee. We don't even have the corporate location open, and we have a franchisee already, unheard of. Okay, so remember padel that you heard it here first. Okay, I'll pass this baby around. You guys could see what the padel paddle's all about. And for those that you haven't played pickleball, you can pass this one around. About the same cost. It's about $250. That one's about $300. So the industry is booming on supplies. The industry is booming on paddles. The industry is booming on courts. So here's my challenge, and here's where I need help. %99 of the people in here, if not 100%, don't know what padel is. I spent a lot of money, and I'm putting in 2 padel courts in our Let's Go Pickleball 63,000 square feet building. Why am I doing that? Because pickleball is the craze right now, but padel is coming. Okay, so the requirements on padel is you need a higher ceiling, at least 22 or 22 foot high. You need to have the columns in the right place, just like pickleball. So you got 10, 20, 30 people here today. My ask to you is, I got 99% of the people here, or 100%, never heard of padel. Why would they go play padel in a pickleball place? So how do I educate the market, right? When I had Shelf Genie and we were manufacturing custom drawers for kitchens, baths, and pantries, people said, oh, I didn't even know you could do that. So we were kind of the leader in the franchise space of doing kitchens, bathrooms, and things like that with shelving. I mean, I bought a new house. My wife said, I want no shelves. Everything needs to be a drawer. Okay, great. So I got everybody here. You guys know about baseball. You know about football. You know about basketball. You know about tennis. You never heard about padel, and it's the fastest growing sport in the world. So if you think pickleball was growing, you could look up the stats and you could look at what padel is. So my ask to you is, you guys live in Peachtree City or Fayette County or someplace down here. How do I get the word out? How do I tell people what Pickle is? How do I get them to try it? Because once you try it, you're hooked. It's like a puppy dog. You give somebody a puppy dog, they don't want to give it back to you, right? So how do I get the average racket sport person, athlete, kids, very big with youth, not as big with people in their 70s like I am, because it's a lot more running than pickleball.
In your opinion, how do you think pickleball grew to become so popular?
Well, everybody thought it was a seniors game, and it's not a seniors game because the best person in the world is 18 years old, right? So pickleball grew out of word of mouth. It's very, very social. Pickle is very, very social as well. So that's how it grew, and it grew like I live in Crestwind, right? I call it the old age home, and we have 180 people in our pickleball club, and we have 8 courts outside. And so people just brought their friends and said, come out here, and they don't have to be proficient in pickleball. They could go out there, hoot and holler, laugh. The ladies are out there, the guys are out there. They keep score, they don't keep score, who cares? But they're getting off the couch and they're getting some exercise. And the orthopedic people love it because there's so many injuries.
Yeah.
Why there's so many injuries is that people don't wear the right shoes, and they got their Nike running shoes on, and pickleball is a lateral game. And so if you wear running shoes to play pickleball, you're going to hurt your ankle. And it happens all the time. And so that people take lessons. So there's a whole industry in just lessons and clinics and camps and things like that. But so pickleball grew by word of mouth. Got the seniors involved, got the kids in school involved. We're not even opened yet in our business, and we have birthday parties lined up on the schedule already. We have corporate events lined up on the schedule already. We have charity tournaments on the schedule, Toys for Tot tournaments. We have the food bank that we're doing a tournament for, and we have a professional pickleball tournament scheduled in October. So I'm going to get the word out about Pickle, right? Because we got 2 courts. We spent a lot of money on those courts, and we want to get people engaged.
How easy is it, or how much infrastructure is it required to convert an existing pickleball court into a Pickle court?
Yep.
And I'm asking is, if you have, I know you have 22 pickleball courts. If somebody said, I want to bring a Pickle tournament
Yep.
in there, could you just
No,
walls?
no. So here's the good question. So the Pickle court is bigger. So it takes 2 pickleball courts for 1 Pickle, but you need the ceiling height, right? So the ceiling height is very, very important because you lob. The game is you lob a lot, you hit the ball down hard. There's the top players could run outside the side doors and get the ball outside the court and hit it back in. So and just go to YouTube and look up Pickle. So two pickleball courts for 1 Pickle, but you have to have the ceiling height. I'd say minimum 22, but you really want a little higher than that. And 18, 16, not going to work. I mean, the ball's going to hit up there too much.
So when you build, when you're building the pickleball court down on Mola Drive,
Right.
Did you make all of the ceilings the appropriate?
So one is when we built the pickleball court, we had no idea about doing Pickle. It was not even in the plans, nor in the budget. And then I said to my partners, we need to put some Pickle courts in here. Okay, where? We're in a brand new building, 103,000 square feet, and we're a tenant of part of that. So we said, well, we can take some more space, which means we have to pay more rent. But if we don't take it now, we'll never get it. Because the tenant will go in there, they'll have a 5 or 10-year lease, and there'll be no opportunity for expansion. So, like any entrepreneur, you go big or you go home, right? So we sat around the table and we said, okay, blah, 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 yep, we need 9,000 more square feet. So we went to the landlord and said, we want 9,000 more square feet. And they said, okay, amendment to the lease, blah, 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 and we built it out. So it was a second thought. We're lucky that we have high ceilings because we built it for pickleball with high ceilings. So ours are to the deck, to the floor, the ceiling, we're a minimum of 22 feet, which is very good for pickleball and just getting there for Pickle. So it was an afterthought and another $500,000. Not, it's only money, right? And Karen's gonna teach us how to get the money.
Yeah, I was going to say,
at the chance of self-promotion, I work with an ad consultant for The Citizen, which is an online publication. Right?
Sure.
And so it's recently 146,000 people come to the place every single time you turn around.
Right.
People come there because they look for hyper-local stories. They look for interesting things that are happening in Fayette County.
So you want to interview me?
So there's an opportunity to have sponsored content. And
Okay, yeah.
For an example, Smith & Davis Clothing just did their tent sale.
Sure.
They did their 60th annual tent sale, and we sold them a story. It looked and felt like a news story, but it was a sponsored piece of content.
Sure.
And they had over 4,500 people who viewed their story. So from a very hyper-local space, it's not going to do much for getting outside of Coweta and Fayette. But if
Right.
you're looking for a hyper-local.
Sure, okay, well, we'll have to consider that. So the question I would have back is, if I took a full-page ad out and I said, and I know it's in digital versus paper, and said, hey, come try Pickle, would people,
Well, the
or
other
they
side
just
of
like
that
say,
is-
what's that? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and that's why I'm.
We need a video.
I
That's what we
wouldn't
need.
necessarily suggest a display campaign, but actually having a feature story. Right,
Sure.
Which tells the story behind Pickle.
Right.
You get to elaborate. You know, I sold broadcast advertising for 30 years, and everybody I ever sold broadcast advertising to said, you know what, if you gave me an interview in the morning show, that would be a wonderful
Sure.
thing. And I said, well, you know, the reason I sell broadcast advertising is to get an audience to share your story in
Right.
a 30 or 60-second increment. Right?
Gotcha.
If I put you on the air in the morning show, there are people who would be punching out. But this is a little different with the Citizen because people come there looking for information, news, and lifestyle.
Okay, good idea.
So it's a story about the.
I'm going to give everybody who tries it in our facility for free a $2 bill. I think they'll remember. Question?
Yeah, I own an advertising agency, so I know exactly where you are right now. To answer your initial question, I'll do that second, but first of
Okay.
all, before you start looking at tactics, you need to understand what your goal is.
Sure, my goal is to
Understand what that is.
No.
But I mean, but you have,
No, I
you have an
I
awareness
gotta get
issue.
open first.
Yeah, you have an awareness issue, obviously,
Right.
and that conversion issue. It's really going to come down to human truths. Like, what is that human truth that hits the soul of somebody? What was happening with pickleball, it wasn't word of mouth, it wasn't any of that kind of stuff. It started off with older people because they were tennis players who wanted to convert down. As the younger ones got in, it became the human truth as I want to decimate all. And they were able to. They were more nimble, they were faster, they could
Sure.
right? So something like that, we need to figure out what that human truth is with them. And I think that
Correct.
will
Okay,
help.
good point.
So.
Thank you.
So, I think kind of to the point, I mean, I'm sure you've done the history on this, is like how pickleball, it's easy to convert a tennis court into a pickleball court, so the friction for adoption
Yeah, people hate it.
is a lot lower though, because as you said, the paddles are cheap, you know, and people like when we first got introduced to it, people had extra paddles, so they,
Right.
you know, brought us out there.
Yeah,
and
but
we
they're
played.
not easy.
Right, and there's the barrier of the structure that you can't just convert non-used tennis courts
Correct.
into it. So you're going to have a competitive advantage that way, but probably, you've got a market with, would you say, you already have 100 members that are prepaid?
Oh, we have way over that.
Right, so,
100.
all this stuff that they're gonna see it, they're gonna have their trial thing, you're gonna
Right.
have these free trial days, so I think you're gonna end up very quickly having a capacity issue on it.
Yeah, we
right?
have,
So-
what we're looking at is squash players, tennis players, and some people have heard of the sport, but most have not, right? I mean, my wife said, what are you, crazy? What are you doing, right? So, but again, we need to educate them, we need to get them, and so we could stand out there and round them all up and say, come in here and try this thing and line up, because once we know they'll try it, we're the only game in town, because there's only 2 other places in the whole city, in Atlanta.
2 other places for Patel?
Yeah, just 2 places.
Oh, I didn't think there would be anybody else.
Yeah, there's one place up in Norcross, and there's another place being built in Midtown, because they see the craze.
So, seems to be stating the obvious here, but it seems to have not been spoken about. So, social media, but
Sure.
social media influencers that you particularly sponsor, and all of their content is tailored towards bringing people to your, whether it be your seminars or your webinars or the actual physical location, because that spreads locationally that way.
Sure.
One of my business partners does social media for golf. It's anything that touches golf, especially if there's a girl involved, is, I mean, millions,
Right.
millions and millions of views, and all it took was someone specialized.
So
in
I need
sport.
somebody sexy with a pedal paddle. Is that what
Right,
I'm saying?
100%. And then brand that obviously towards yourself, but then that kind of thing, maybe multiple, or create influencer events. I know they did that at Stairview recently. They did
Sure.
a big influencer event
Yeah.
where everybody, all the influencers got together at their location, and it was really just like, hey, so you invite out all of the
Right.
Cadell players or whoever would be involved in that, or someone who's interested in it, at least in social media, because that is like the new word of mouth. Though I love all the local advertising and advertising these days from my generation, we immediately look at it and go, no, you're trying to sell me something. But if somebody who looks like you is doing it, and then you're like, oh, look how good they are at it, or how enjoyable, or
Sure.
how attractive that person is, it immediately catches that attention, and obviously, you want that.
And then I guess somebody could put a big billboard on Highway 74, put a big screen out there, but Peachtree City won't let us, so we have no problem with the sign, right? We want to have something on the roof. We have an 8-foot round pickleball going to be in the parade, so it's like really big. And so, and we'll be having pedal paddles and all kinds of stuff out there, throw out some balls.
You're asking how do you educate the market? Who is the market?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is the market and how much is it?
The market is
What's the
twofold.
cost?
The market is anybody that plays a racket sport, right? So tennis, squash, badminton, racquetball. That is our target market. Anybody that's familiar or likes playing a racket sport. Age group, irrelevant.
I only want to push back a little because I have multiple relatives in my family over the age of 70, some over the age of 80 who play pickleball. And I don't see any of them surviving a game of
It's not our target market.
Okay, so that's why.
Yeah, so age for sure.
Yes,
I mean,
you're
I'm
not-
73 and I'm in relatively good shape as I
You ran the dopey marathon.
Right. So I play
My
pickleball
family
5-6 days a week, right? So usually
Yeah.
in the morning for 2 or 3 hours, and so I'm not the target market because even in Crestwood where I live, the average age is probably late 70s, people younger. But so pickleball easy because I have neighbors that are 80 years old that are playing pickleball.
But
They're
again-
not gonna, they might try padel, but they're not going to play.
Again, the market is a rich market too.
Yeah,
You have to have money.
Yeah, right. You have to have money. This is a squash market where it's more of an elite, more of elite. Our target age demographics are going to be 20 to 45, 50. It's the guys that are, need the adrenaline rush. They want to run around, work up a good sweat, and be competitive. It's 4 people play, not 2. It's always 4.
So just to say something that is despicable but a basic truth. The Ivy Leagues like to use sports to include certain racial groups and exclude other racial groups.
Yes.
Correct.
Harvard maintains
Yeah.
their racial
Sure.
by having the sports that only get played in country clubs.
Yeah.
If you can get this sport into the Ivy League schools, every striving parent in America who wants their kid to get into Harvard is going to suddenly be paying for padel lessons.
Yeah, right, and you're right. And so my daughter went to UNC on a tennis scholarship because of Title IX, and she was, the guys are getting in for basketball, football, baseball. And so there's pickleball scholarships right now in major universities, and it's growing all over the country, without a doubt. There's none for padel. So the sport is 5 years behind pickleball, okay? But it's growing. And so will the colleges pick it up? Absolutely, without a doubt. Right? So, but it's just a matter of time.
Okay, as soon as Harvard builds a padel.
Of course, yeah, right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Other questions?
Well, so I'm old enough to remember when racquetball was first
Yeah, right,
starting
exactly.
up, right?
Yeah.
And so, I got introduced to it at college as like something to do because there was like these 3/4 spaces
Sure,
that
yeah.
you could go down and play. And then when I got out, it was like, oh, I had to join a racquetball club, and I would go and I'd do all that kind of stuff. So it'd be great if you could figure out like overall big as you're going on this. Any of those kind of old courts still exist
Yeah, but you need to have the
in
right
the
space.
colleges that
Right.
you could get people, the amateurs, starting to do something like that they could potentially convert, because I don't know how many people still play racquetball compared to other things.
Yeah, there's not that many racquetball courts. I'm just trying to say, I just want, when you have dinner with your friends on Friday night, Saturday night this week, go to them and say, hey, do you know what Pickle is? And so, again, I get the same response just like I got in this room. So I need to get word of mouth. I need to get word of mouth out there just like pickleball. So hopefully when all you guys leave today, you're gonna say, well, I learned something new, this sport called Pickle. I'm looking up, I'm gonna call Barry and I wanna try it in this new place. And you'll come out there and try it, and then you'll tell people either like it or you didn't like it, but at least you tried it and you'll be educated, because I need to educate people on the sport.
Are you familiar with a company called Nettie, N-E-T-T-I-E?
No.
They do custom pickleball paddles.
Oh, yeah.
They got the Barbie franchise, so they did the Barbie paddles. They did the
Sure.
Hamilton paddles, so if you was in Hamilton, you could buy your.
Yeah, we did custom paddles for the Chamber of Commerce pickleball tournament.
Okay.
And so we'll do those with pickles. We're gonna go on one side and a guy on the other and see what happens.
That was too poor.
Because sex sells, right?
Yeah, I would think that everything that, like a lot of companies, what they do is they kind of create a shortage to create high demand for something, you know.
Sure.
So you have an advantage because you have only two courts, you know, for that kind of game. So it is a shortage. Like people, if a lot of people want to play it, they can't. They have to wait, or they have to pass a certain, or pay something, you know, in addition to play it. So I'm thinking that's actually a good advantage for you, you know, like creating this shortage.
We'll create the demand, we just have to have people to understand what it is first.
Right.
So we have to kind of brainwash them to ask, what is Pickle and where do I go play it?
So work a lot. I mean, I know that Ryan said it, you know, on social medias, but I think specifically on the phone. Like if I don't know anything, but I feel like everybody else know it, I'm kind of worried that, you know, what am I missing here? So you're really great with your stickers, the way you put it not only on your car, but
Right.
everywhere around, you know, you spread it nicely.
Sure.
So people are like putting the stickers of Let's Go Pickleball, and a lot of people around here is like, oh, is that new? Is that around here? What is it? You know, how is it different? And this kind of lack of knowledge of what it is creates the interest in people, and then, you know, they are kind of more prone to learn about it. So definitely like leave some hints in forms of stickers,
Sure.
some postings, social media of
Good
like,
idea.
oh, you don't know what it is? Like everybody know. Well,
Yeah, I'm gonna
it's
get
not
a
true.
t-shirt made that says, do you Pickle? With a question mark and then ask me, right? So-
Yeah, there
something
you
like
go.
that. Yeah, just like the got milk. You can get
Sure,
it.
right, yeah.
Hey Barry, listening, and some very good suggestions, but it sounds like a country club sport.
It could be
Sounds like
perceived at
I
that.
think it sounds like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I looked at the club in Peachtree City, there's 5 country clubs with a membership. If they had a Pickle court at each of those, you'd have an exclusive audience there.
Yeah.
We'd be willing to pay for that
Sure.
as part of that membership, so that's something you might want to
Yeah.
look into.
Okay, good, thanks.
Are there currently famous Pickle players?
Yes, but you wouldn't know.
I know, I'm here.
And I'm excited.
And I don't know your.
They're all outside the US.
That's what I was about to say, so I don't know what your timeline is. I'm sure are they from countries such as Germany, Spain, Argentina?
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
Spain, Mexico, Argentina.
Great, you're naming perfect countries for what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
If your timeline is not terribly urgent, next summer, the World Cup is going to be here in Atlanta.
We'll be booked solid.
Really?
And I think
didn't
if
hear
you
about that.
can get some of those players,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know, offer them World Cup tickets or
Sure.
something,
Yeah.
but if they'll come to your place, and because if it's gonna be here, they're gonna wanna be here anyway.
Correct.
Like, get them to come play a couple games against each other at your facility.
Yep.
And that is gonna attract the eyes of.
No, great idea.
Yeah, everyone in the world, and you just film that,
Sure.
and put it out
Yep,
there, everywhere.
absolutely, thanks. Other question?
A little bit off on the side, the pickleball court is the same dimension as a badminton court. Now, throughout Europe, when I was stationed there, I mean, it was huge. I played
Right.
badminton for years, fabulous sport, but I think it had a little bit of that perception just like pickleball, it was like no full sport or no full beat, but it was really fast and intense. So if you're doing this indoors, why don't you take like a couple of your courts and also tape it so they can do badminton?
Yeah, so
Expand it that way.
that's a great idea. It's already in the plans. One of my partners is an Olympian badminton player, 2 times in the Olympics. So we're absolutely doing badminton. But I want to do padel because badminton is on the pickleball court. And I got these two 33 by 66 awesome structures, and I need to pay for it.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, since you already
but
got
badminton for sure.
indoors, it's sort of like multi-use.
So my daughter's getting married in November, so I told my wife we have a great wedding venue and it's no charge, and I'll make her a great deal. And I got the guy to do the tables and chairs and all that stuff, and they said no way. But I tried. But there will be a wedding, and let's go pickleball. That's a question.
I was gonna say, it's almost cliche, but open houses and free food and bouncy houses work.
You got it.
So hire a caterer. I know a guy. Invite everyone you can invite out, and give people some free food and some bouncy houses. Do like regular open houses.
We'll definitely do those things without a doubt. We'll have a grand opening like you've never seen before.
Well, I'm not talking about grand opening. I'm talking about a designated series of open houses just for Padel.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal is to have people lined up on opening day like they do for Chick-fil-A.
Right.
People lined up. So we're out promoting it. This is why I'm asking you guys, and y'all a lot of great ideas that I'm all making a mental note of.
Give me a free racket, I'll go there and play.
Yeah, comment.
You just kind of answered my question that you haven't had your grand opening yet, so you're not open at all.
No, not open at all.
So I was going to say, you said you had a lot of things scheduled and kind of solidly booked out.
Yep.
And I feel like that's your active community because they're there for pickleball. You can market to them directly.
Oh, we have a PPA pickleball event in October. There'll be 1,000 people there,
Great.
and so they'll all get to see it,
Right.
and they'll all get to try it. If after they lose in the pickleball match, they'll come play. So we have a lot of feet through the door, so to speak.
Perfect. So do you have an offer for those members as far as Padel? Okay, got it.
And why not invite the coaches from the high school, middle schools, etc.?
We're already doing. Yes, good idea. We're already doing pickleball stuff with Macintosh and Starsman. But yes, we got to get those kids to play padel.
Yeah, I'm saying, but show them the padel
Correct.
too.
Absolutely. Right now, we're talking about it, but in 60 days, you'll be looking at it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. If my racket for $350, I would be like, what's that?
Yeah, just tell your kid I'll loan them one.
It's good. They'll eventually.
I just want, and we'll have demo paddles and loaners. We just want people to play, like to get out there and experience it.
And don't forget your running community here in Peachtree City. That's a very active community.
It is.
So when we have races and things
Sure.
like that. Yeah.
I did my first triathlon here in Peachtree City. Swam in the lake, rode the bike on the golf carts, and ran. Long time ago. Other comments?
Can you talk about what your I'm assuming Let's Go Pickleball is being set up as a franchise?
It is already a franchise, correct?
Okay, so you have someone who's already bought one franchise?
No, that's
That was the
our
other-
company.
okay.
No, we just launched the franchise right now.
Okay, so is Padel part of the Let's Go Pickleball franchise?
Yeah, will be optional. So if the franchisee wants to put it in and has the space, yes. We have the manufacturer, the court people already lined up. So it's an option. If they want to put it in, sure. Just like the analogy I'll give you is we're going to have grab-and-go food, but not a full restaurant. If a franchisee wants to have a full restaurant, okay. But they want to serve beer and wine, okay. That doesn't mean that we're doing it, but we give them the option to do that if they want. Okay. Yanni?
Yeah, Padel is so new here, so nobody knows it.
Yeah, nobody knew it, right?
And I'm just thinking, can you give it like your own special like rule or change it in a way?
No, it's a national sport. It's a global sport, so I can't change the rules. You score in Padel, you score like you do in tennis. You get 2 serves, you got to get the ball in the box. You play 15, 30, 40 love game. You play a set, the 6 games. So the scoring In pickleball, people get confused. What is this 0-0-2?
Oh, yeah, oh, and you have to call it right.
But so padel scoring is just like tennis. Okay?
So I'm thinking, you know, if you were to sell the sport, but sell something unique that is part of the sport, like a special shoe that is only for padel, a special racket, a special like ball, a special like I don't know, coating for for the field that is patented to you. At that point, you reinvent the game here in the US, and you can easily franchise it.
Right.
Just a thought, you know.
Yeah. No, good idea.
And
Other
if I may
comments?
also, yes, go ahead.
Anybody else have any other comments?
I want to share also, like, if I may, like a quick story about Red Bull, how they started. It's really enlightening, you know, and it has to do a lot with the photo that I mentioned before. So, real quick, it's yet another energy drink, and they didn't have budget. They were about to shut down because they didn't succeed. And then they thought, let's do a guerrilla move, like a guerrilla marketing move. What they did is they went to some bars, pubs, you name it, and threw a lot of empty cans outside in the garbage, area. And people notice it, and they're like, "Wow, what is that everybody is drinking?" So they started to ask for these, like cans with the blue and silver. And before you know it, the bar owners were kind of like, "What is it that everybody is asking us?" So nobody knew that actually nobody drink it. It was just a fake kind of FOMO. So that's how they got, into the market. You're laughing because?
No, they also gave coolers to every agent in Hollywood. I was working in Hollywood this happened. They provided coolers full of Red Bull to every agent in Hollywood they had in their office, and they provided them with free, like it got refilled for free. So every agent in Hollywood, when you went into their meeting, like, would you like a bottle of water, would you like a Red Bull? And all these people were like, a what? And all the agents had Red Bull coolers in their offices.
Yeah, you want to get name recognition, and that's, everybody's goal is to be like Kleenex, right? And nobody says tissue, they say Kleenex, and we become a household name. And so, this sport is just evolving, right? So the US will see it, and once it gets, it's on TV on certain channels, and people will watch it, but my goal right now is to get all the people in Peachtree City, Fayette County, in this area to, one is be aware of the sport, and two is come try it.
Barry, I have one quick question. Internationally, why is it growing so fast? What's driving people to the sport?
It's exciting. It's
something new.
It's new. It's exciting. It's been around a long time, but it's exciting. It's fun. It's very competitive, and it's something different, right? And so, is it a craze that's going to go away? Nobody thinks so, right? Because there's so many millions of people playing. There's internet. There's tournaments. There's all kinds of things, and now the big TV sponsors are getting involved. You say a special shoe. It's an AstroTurf floor. So when I play pickleball, it's concrete or asphalt, and so the padel is much easier on your body because it's plastic, and so it's AstroTurf. So you're not getting that. Helps your knees, but people it's just a lot of fun, and it's very social. So people they'll play and they'll sit around and talk, and you got TVs and matches going and things like that.
So I'm sorry. So is it very similar to tennis where you have basically a net?
A net?
Just like playing tennis.
It's a net. It's 33 by 66.
Right.
And you're in a glass enclosure.
Right.
You hit the ball off the wall. There's some fence also that's out. You can't hit the ball off the fence until it starts. So there's some specific rules. But it's clear. The glass is clear, so people watching could sit and watch.
Right. And so I guess the benefit is tennis is a lot of running around, so a whole lot. So this is a little bit less, but it's still competitive.
This is more running than tennis.
More running.
But this is doubles. Nobody's playing singles.
Oh, okay.
So it's doubles, and it's more running than doubles in tennis.
Wow.
Absolutely. Because you're here, and the ball goes over your head, and you run back to get it.
Yeah.
So the ball bounces off the wall. Only allowed one bounce. So the bounce off the wall, and then you go back and you lob it up in that corner all the way back down there. Or you hit a slice shot or a drop shot or a power shot, or you bounce it like this and then it goes outside the court for a winner.
What's the structure of a franchise, and what's your ideal franchisee?
Ideal franchisee is somebody like you. Our ideal franchisee is somebody that likes sports and wants to be involved in a community type environment. We do a lot of stuff with the Chamber of Commerce, and so it's a community thing. So our ideal franchisee, one is they have to be financially qualified, and two is they got to like sports and like people, because it's a people business. You got to walk in and shake hands and learn people's names and go out there. And so I'm a high level player, but I can go out there with beginners and still have a good time, and I can help teach the game, and I can practice on something while I'm playing, right? So it's not like I have to win all these medals all the time. I want to play socially and give back to the beginners. And believe me, when you're talking to people in their 70s plus, and you're giving a lesson to them, you have to have patience of a saint. And my wife will tell you that I don't have any patience, being married 50 years, but when you're giving an instructional lesson to somebody that's not as coordinated as you might be, you have to have unbelievable amounts of patience. So get somebody that's not coordinated in a padel court. The lessons are going to be more challenging than somebody on a pickleball court, because the paddle's heavier, it's at least 50% or double. So you got to have patience to be able to train and give lessons, and we'll have lessons and open play and clinics and all that stuff for people to play. I'm searching for a really good coach right now.
And your clientele's lifespan is a little bit longer.
I was actually thinking about
clientele lifespan is a little bit longer.
coaches, but are you going to be giving lessons to like high school coaches and such, so they can actually physically pitch it to their
they'll pitch it to the kids, and then the kids will come in and play. And 3 months into it, we'll have birthday parties booked solid on that court, on those two courts. We just know it. Other comments, questions? I got just a few things to give away to people that ask really good questions.
I don't think it's the best advertisement for your product that you're carrying your stuff in a Piedmont Orthopedics bag.
You know why?
You use there so much to sponsor.
Guess why? Major sponsor. Orthopedic guys love pickleball, they love padel. They just, so here's and so we have a lot of sponsors. So all the doctors love us. They love us because, the more people play, the more they get hurt. We're going to try to not get hurt. In our facility, we have physical therapy on there full time. So we have a physical therapist on staff there. We have a physical therapy room. We have an AI training wall to play pickleball against people around the world in an AI environment. Do you have a username so you can compete with other people on how well you are? We have a fitness center. So 63,000 square feet, we have a lot of stuff going on.
Is there a membership?
I'm sorry?
You have a membership?
Yeah, it's all online right now. We have a special tour. And we got hundreds and hundreds of people that are already taking advantage of our early bird specials. And we'll be at the parade. You'll see me in some kind of outfit, I believe. Well, I want to thank everybody for their comments and assistance. I got to process all these ideas, get with my team, and say how we're going to do that. I have cards up here, paddles if you want. Take pictures of the sign out there. Take pictures with a padel paddle, and then challenge your friends to say, do you know what this is? And if they don't, then they buy dinner. So whatever works. But, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Thanks.
I think Laura's got to take a picture of us for this.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't forget to go find Nini and grab your lunch bag and sign and please. Just a 20 or 30 second video.